I thought her goal was for all the villagers to become deranged and kill each other like demons. But according to what Irei said, that wouldn't happen. The villagers will all be killed before that happens. I'm not Takano, so I can't be sure, but that won't be fun for her. It doesn't make sense to kill me for that purpose, especially since we've known each other for a long time. Is it possible for Takano and the Mountain Hounds to kill me? It's very possible. I would just say that, yes, theoretically, if they really wanted to, they could. No, don't be stupid. That's just impossible. Takano's priority is to protect you, and one of the Mountain Hound's important jobs is to guard you. That's simply impossible. Irei. That said, supposing Takano wanted to kill me, can you think of a motive? No, I can't. She knows better than anyone about the danger of a queen carrier. Besides, as you know, she's very passionate about the Hinamizawa syndrome research. Killing you contradicts her passion, does it? It proves it. But the Hinamizawa syndrome is supposed to be eradicated within 3 years, right? That means you're going to destroy the syndrome. What does she think of that? Well, the Hinamizawa syndrome is an object of a treatment for me, but for Takano it's a research material. Actually, she's strongly against the plan to eradicate it within 3 years, and she has even made a trip to Tokyo to request an indefinite extension of the research from the board of directors. She wasn't successful, though. Yes, because indefinite is just unfathomable. Stupid. In other words, Takano wants to continue the research, but the Hinamizawa syndrome is going to be eradicated within 3 years. Takano is going to lose her research object, right? I guess you can say that. I think I see something here. The Irei Institution isn't a small organization. It's being managed by lots of people and it receives lots of funds. That's the only way to research the Hinamizawa syndrome. So if the Irei Institution is to stop the research within 3 years, there really isn't much Takano can do. If it's going to end anyway, then maybe she wants to shake things up big time. No way. Things like that can't happen. But you know how she is, right? She would do it. She would kill me if she wanted to, don't you think? No way. No way. Something as horrible as that, it isn't possible. I feel that like I'm starting to find Takano's motive, but it seems like there's more. After all, the research will go on at least for 3 years. It's possible that during those 3 years, Takano's request will be approved and the research will get extended. In other words, the research is guaranteed to go on at least for 3 more years. She still has 3 years, so why is she so desperate now? Besides, I'm going to be killed in June of the 58th year of the Showa era. The date may change a bit, but the month it won't. That's proof based on a strong willpower. It would be one thing if the research was being terminated immediately, but she still has 3 years. Yet she's already getting desperate. Her motive is too weak. She must have a strong will that it has to be the June of the 58th year of the Showa era. After that, no matter how I questioned Irei, he kept repeating that there's no way Takano would kill me, so I didn't see how he could be of any help. However, if I'm able to explain Takano's motive, then I think he will be my ally. But for now, I think this is all I can do with Irei. I'm going to talk to Tomitake, too. Tomitake is closer to Tokyo than Irei. Maybe he can tell me something Irei can't. I hope I can find out some important things from him so I can explain Takano's motive to kill me. Tomitake must be in Hinamizawa by now. He spends a lot of time with Takano, but sometimes he takes walks by himself. I'm going to try to find him when he's alone. Tomitake is in love with Takano. I'm a little worried he won't take me seriously. Thank you very much. I'm going back to the classroom. If you find out something about Takano, please let me know. Rika, why do you think Takano is trying to kill you? You haven't developed symptoms, have you? If you doubt me, why don't you run a test on me? I said some terrible things out of the blue, so I don't blame him for becoming suspicious. Thanks to a test Sorenshi developed, it's very simple to prove my innocence. I have to take the test to prove that I haven't developed the final phase symptoms. The test result is negative. Of course. It's just impossible for Takano to... Just impossible. But maybe now Irei believes that there is a possibility that Takano is trying to kill me. He's definitely doubtful of her now. I leave the nurse's office. I hope Irei will be curious about Takano and try to find out something about her. So how was it, Rika? Did you find out anything? Well, yes and no. It's hard to say, but there are a couple of interesting things. One is that the Irai institution is trying to eradicate the Hinamizawa syndrome within 3 years. Takano doesn't like this idea. She went to Tokyo and appealed the continuation of the research, but they refused. That may cause her to become desperate. The second is this thing called Emergency Manual 34. Supposedly, if I die, that will be enacted and the whole village will be terminated by poisonous gas. Oh. They say that when I die, the village will develop the final phase symptoms, right? First I thought Takano wants me dead because she wants to see what happened. But since there is such an emergency manual, the village will be gone before then. So that isn't her motive. Every time I ask Irai, all he says is that it's impossible. According to him, Takano understands the importance of the situation better than anyone. Therefore, she doesn't have a reason to kill me. Oh. I know. I've only asked Irai so far. We can talk to other people too. That's right. Unless we put everyone's power together, the miracle won't happen. We need a miracle to defeat our enemy. It's almost lunchtime. It will be a good chance to talk to everyone. But, do you think they'll take us seriously? They may even think we're talking about a story from a comic or something. No, I think it'll be better to tell them honestly, without really thinking too much about it. Do you really think so? Yes. Let's just try. Tell them in the way I teach you, and I'm sure they will take you seriously and they'll help you. I'm still not sure, but Hanya seems very confident. Hanya observes various people. She had never talked to Mion directly, but she knows her better than I do. I talked to everyone during lunchtime in the way Hanya taught me. Huh, that's interesting. And? Oh, that's great, Rika. How do you come up with such things like that? I know. You're so talented. If we work a little more, we can write a great comic. Shut up, Keiichi. I don't know what to say. I thought maybe something was bothering you because you haven't been looking good since this morning. Why didn't you come to me first? See? I told you that you could count on them. Oh. Count on them, huh? It's all up to how you put it, I guess. Uncle Mion can create applications for me, make rough drafts, ink, tone, draw backgrounds, typesetting, and proofreading. Taking manuscripts to a printer, publishing, distribution, and support. He can do all. Good thing you came to him. Oh wow, Mion is great. She can be a cartoonist, an editor, a publisher, and a bookstore owner. All of them. Wow, my dad says things like that too. Is it a popular style nowadays? Oh, I'm curious about what kind of comic Mi-chan will be writing. I'm curious. I'd read it. Hey, come on. We're getting sidetracked. Let's all help Rika, okay? I told them all about what surrounds Hinamizawa. I told them that I want to write a comic book and that I need their help to decide on a setting. Adding a little proposition like that makes such a huge difference. Hanyu, you're good. Anyway, if this queen carrier dies, the village will be destroyed because of some emergency measure. That's the focus, right? My goodness, if there was someone like that, she better be very careful. One mistake she makes, poof, the whole village will be gone. We should just capture her and wrap her in bubble wrap and put her in storage or something. But she gets killed, right? If they knew her death would create a disaster, why would they kill her? Why? I know, all the bad people at the research center already know it will cause a disaster, yet they still try to kill me. I mean, the queen carrier. I just can't think of a good motive for that. They want to create a disaster. That would be my answer. They want to create a disaster, then. That's clearly the motive. I kind of see an outline of the motive, though. Can they actually find a hint without knowing any details? Ha! That's so simple. The fact that the entire village gets destroyed if the queen carrier dies is a motive itself. Mion laughs as she casually speaks what's on her mind. Same wavelength right there. Come on, we got this. But Mion, the bad person wants to research the disease, So why would she destroy her research object herself? Oh, well. That's simple. Just find some masterminds behind that bad person, that's all. Or someone worse than that bad person who wants to use her. Someone who wants to use Takano. Listen, if the Queen Carrier dies, a disaster will befall the village. To hide it, a mass execution takes place. That is basically a measure to respond to an emergency. It is a last resort. That's because once it takes place, although it takes care of the situation, it is a disaster in itself. You're right. In politics, they always talk about who takes responsibility and who resigns for that. Yeah, it's an idea to shake up shit. And in fact, a mass execution like that was to take place, someone has to explain that and take responsibility. Well, it's a secret operation, so I'm sure it won't be made public, but there will be many people questioned within an organization named Tokyo, that's for sure. Isn't that a motive to kill the Queen Carrier? Well, why? Who gains from such chaos? Someone who's looking to gain power. Someone who's on the bottom. Who isn't in charge. Gains power. There are plenty of people. Think about it. The wind always blows in one direction. For some people it's a headwind, and for others it's a tailwind. There are always people who gain and who lose. I see. Oh, this stimulates my brain. In other words, if something like that happens, there will be some people who have to take responsibility for it, and their enemies will gain from it, whoever they are. That's right. There are always different powers and factions within an organization, especially if it's a huge mastermind organization like Tokyo. I'm sure there are lots of hidden agendas or many different people. In other words, there are plenty of people who want to be on top of the others. And there are plenty of reasons to assassinate the Queen Carrier. Are you saying that even the bad person doesn't have a reason? That there are other people who have reasons to kill the Queen Carrier in Tokyo? There you go. You've got it. Also, what about his background for the bad person? What about this background for the bad person at the Secret Research Center? The research will be shut down within 3 years, right? Then how about this? Say this researcher's hard work is about to be erased completely. She's going through a tough time because her life's work is about to vanish into thin air. Not only that, I think her pride is hurt too. Exactly. God, Mion is so fucking smart. Good lord. The best. That's true. The research this bad person has spent half her life on doesn't get acknowledged by the people at the top. And they even told her that it will be shut down within 3 years. This is a proof to make it exist. Like, if she gives me the outline of that, I'm coming up... Hell, I actually said what it was. It's to create a disaster in itself. That's the motive. Just shake it up. Like, I'm right there. That must be tough. It's hard when other people deny that, which you've worked so hard to accomplish. Rika. Yeah, I know. This is amazing. My friends are the best. It's starting to sound like Takano. Oh. So what did this bad person do? Of course, the first thing would be to appeal. She would probably try to explain to Tokyo how important and interesting her research object is. That gets shut down. You turn to more drastic measures, and you show them just how important it was. To prove them wrong. That's how you get your revenge on them. And ask them not to stop the research. But if Tokyo accepted it, then your comic would be boring. The bosses at Tokyo turned down her request. They tell her that her work is a waste of time and that it should be stopped immediately or something like that. Yuri told me that Takano has gone to Tokyo to request an extension of the research. She also said her request was denied. Can you imagine her angered having her research denied by others? There are only 2 things for her to do. Satoko, what are they? Simple. She can either accept it meekly or take revenge, right? Keiichi and Satoko high five. Well, accepting it meekly isn't interesting though. So she starts to think that if her research is going to be destroyed by others anyway, then she'd rather destroy it herself. She thinks that way because of her pride. Oh. That's where the hidden agenda from Tokyo comes in. And they're playing against her pride. Because they know she's just a egotistical, god complex person that they feed into it. No way! Do you mean that if a disaster strikes a village, someone who has to take responsibility and someone gains from it? Exactly. The bad person is depressed because her life has basically been denied. By using her, one can create a disaster without lifting a finger. All she has to do is join a group to make sure someone takes the blame. See? That's right. There's more. The bad person is depressed. An ambitious young member of Tokyo who wants to kick down others' entices that person using his henchmen. She's depressed because her existence was denied, right? If someone tells her that they believe in her and such, she'll fall for it easily. And then you just play up to her pride, and then boom. Easy. People skills 101. The stronger the pride is, the easier it is to fall for such encouragement. That means the bad person is simply being used by our evil masterminds. I'm still not gonna put it past Sakuna would still kill Rika in that 3 years' time. Yeah, she still would. She wouldn't let her research go to complete waste. She still would end up killing Rika. I guarantee it. She didn't need this much encouragement to do it. She still would have killed her. It just wouldn't have been now. It would have been 3 years from now. That happens a lot in battle groups' stories. For example, someone devotes his life to this evil organization, but with one mistake he gets eliminated. But in this story, the evil researcher has to be eliminated for sure, right? For masterminds, there's no point in letting her stick around. That's right. So this poor bad person, she thinks she has gotten a little evil part to play, but then her life is denied. She gets used by the masterminds, and after all of that, she gets killed. Although she's a bad person, people may sympathize with her for what she has to go through. But I guess that makes the story interesting, don't you think? Maybe I'll think about that for the next issue. Good, I hope she dies. Every single fucking time. Good. I hope they tell her, oh yeah, P.S. we just used you to further our agenda. You're completely useless. So she feels a complete uselessness right before she dies. God, that would be amazing. Yes. Hanyu and I can only listen to them talk. They are truly amazing. They really are. It's very possible, especially if I think about Takuno's character. Come to think of it, Irei kept repeating that isn't possible. Couldn't that also mean that is possible? Yes. Yes. Whenever someone denies a bunch of shit, like, really, like, oh, no, 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 no. Like that kind of shit, you have some doubt in there. I'm sure my friends can answer that question. I'm going to ask them, let's ask them. Oh. Then why is she so desperate when she still has 3 years left? That doesn't matter. It really doesn't make a difference if you're getting executed tomorrow or 3 days later, right? It's just a matter of the length of her probation. This bad person doesn't feel that she has 3 years left, so she feels that she has been sentenced to die in 3 years. That's just the convenience of the masterminds, huh? They are the ones controlling the bad person. I think it is the masterminds who want to destroy the village at this particular time, not the bad person. That's because this is a huge operation. It has to succeed. The death of the Queen Carriers isn't the only way to key to success. The top has to decide to go ahead with the emergency measure. The responsibility issue after the operation aside, they have to take care of things like preparation, or rather, they have to figure out the perfect timing to do the most damage. After calculating all of that, I think they are going to get on with the operation now that the project has only 3 years left. I mean, I was thinking the exact same thing. That it's clear, like, it makes sense that there's a mastermind pushing for this exact time because, you know, they said that only their people are going to be around during it, so they're going to force it down his throat so he doesn't question it. Which is dirty. Dirty politics. Dirty bureaucracy. But it's just a matter of time until she doesn't. Masterminds or not, she would kill him. So in the end, after this bad person gets used, she is eliminated. She is a bad person, but I feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for her, Mion. Come on. Unless that was Keiji. Keiji, fuck off. I see. How? Okay. Let me move on to the most important thing. To defeat them, how can the Queen Carrier girl fight it? She is the main character. Oh my, that sounds interesting. So the girl they're trying to kill has to run from the evil people, right? It depends on how you serialize it. If you want a long series, coming up with the new pursuers and assassins one after another will let you go on for a long time. Thank you, Mion. How? If possible, we want a short-term and concentrated series. Oh my gosh, Hanyu. Okay, then we just have to take care of the bad person quickly and shoot for a happy ending. It's more exciting to fight than to run. But the main character is a simple girl, right? How does she fight? Girls nowadays aren't powerless. She appears to be weak, but she has a hidden secret power. She's a descendant of a king and she has a special rank hunter. Or how about it? She's a fallen angel. Oh, that sounds like a production of a junior high school student. Wow, fuck you. Hey, Mion, what's wrong? Do you have a stomach ache or something? Ugh, fine. Uncle Mion is just not talented enough. Oh, no. God damn it. Mion, you can do it. The comic you're trying to create, maybe you'll enjoy reading it in 10 years. No. Aw, poor Mion. Damn it. I feel bad for her now. How? I don't know exactly what Mion is trying to say, but anyway, the main character is a weak little girl and doesn't have any special weapons. If anything, she's a wolf in sheep's clothing. She's mean and she abuses me with spicy food. That's great. I'll try that starting tonight. Oh. I see, so she's just a regular girl, huh? But for her to defeat a conspiracy, that's a very difficult story. No. To defeat them, I need all types of weapons at least. As well as I need to know wireless technology and how to fly a helicopter. If not, I need a professional who has gone through training of the Soviet Union, a military advisor. Or someone who can take an enemy forces with limited weapons and traps in a jungle. Never heard of that. I have a feeling that if Mion and Satoko were the main characters' friends, that would solve the problem. God, it would. Oh, it would. All my issues are solved. Huh? Uncle Mion? Sure, if he is in the story, it'll change the whole story. My fighting technique and leadership are special. Plus, if the story takes place here in this village, my familiarity with the place is excellent too. Besides, anyone who makes an enemy of Satoko is as good as dead, right? I don't know what kind of a secret unit this bad person has, but they are nothing compared to my traps. If the main character and I barricade ourselves in the hill, no enemy can lay his fingers on her. Sure. They would need at least a bombardment from a warship and heavy-duty bombs. Even with all that, they'd still suffer much damage. Furthermore, I'll be commanding the operations. They better be prepared for a situation similar to the land battle of Iwo Jima. Right, Satoko? Oh. They better bring a nuclear warhead if they want to fight me in the hills. Hopefully it's not an American organization, or else you're fucked. Shit. Damn it. Shouldn't have said that. Why did I challenge them? Your hills are amazing, but are you sure you can defeat the the bad person's helpers? They're professionals, you know. Surprise attacks and traps are very effective against anyone. The Vietnam War is a good example. The US Army, the most powerful army in the world, couldn't stand against the jungle. A multitude of traps set by someone who knows the area well will go a very long way. That's why you had to burn them. Because yeah, it's really hard to find a jungle that you don't know the layout of, believe it or not. Are you saying Satoko's traps would work on them too? Of course. Not only that, they'd be very effective. The purpose of traps isn't just to trap their victims. They also make people extremely fearful. They are professionals, so they'll be extra careful. Therefore, their commander will become indecisive. He will have to decide whether to go into the hills or not. That means we gain more time. So they would need at least a bombardment to capture us. But this isn't a war, so they probably wouldn't go for that far. I don't think that would be possible. Anyway, Mion is a professional when it comes to deciding on a tactic. Actually, the best scenario would be an all-out siege, like a blitzkrieg type thing. Knowing there are traps and sacrificing some guys, have like the scrubs go up in front and like trigger almost all the traps in general, and then you send in your more elite guards. Like a kind of a two-pronged staged attack. And just surround the area and slowly encroach on them. Smoke them out. You know, that kind of thing. And she is saying Satogo's traps will be more than effective, even against the mountain hounds. That's very reassuring. The flip side of traps is that they can only be used to defend. It takes a long time to set them up. Also, traps don't discriminate. Satogo's hills meet all the requirements, though. That's true. Nobody goes into the hills besides Satogo's traps are everywhere. The main character can barricade herself by just going there. If I'm going to be there, it won't be a simple barricade. I'm going to use it as a diversion to draw away the enemy's main force, then launch a surprise attack. Draw 3 enemies away and attack them from behind. Those are the attacks of an ambush and counterattack. Never attack the enemy head on, unless you have the numbers, of course. But against an elite group of people and you are a bunch of kids, you can't attack them head on, obviously. Unless, of course, you want to intimidate them. Which, again, since they're professionals, it'll probably be pretty hard to intimidate them. Oh, Mii-chan and Satogo you are awesome. But Keiichi and I are left out. Then we'll be the main characters. We'll fight together.